Welcome to Game Informer's Test Chamber, everyone. I'm Andrew Reiner, and sitting right next to me, kind of an uncomfortable distance, is Jeff Cork.
Here I am.
How you doing, sir?
Let's bridge the gap with our communication.
We are playing Murdered Soul Suspect, a new game from developer Airtight Games and publisher Square Enix. And Jeff Cork, you know what you just witnessed right there?
Vertical cover.
Nope. That is the death of the protagonist, Ronan O'Connor.
Ronan O'Connor.
Yes, his name is Ronan, and they do make fun of it. They're like, what kind of name is that?
You paid a price.
Yikes.
And you're seeing... So this is his... what do you call that? You see your life flash before your eyes.
Wow.
So we're getting his complete backstory right here.
And that's the thing that is confirmed to happen in real life.
Correct.
Okay.
Don't try it at home, obviously. These tattoos will not magically appear on your body. But everything he does, he puts tattoos on his body. Which is kind of a weird thing, because you never see him with his shirt off. They put all this work into his character model, yet he is clothed more so than any character I've ever seen. Like, it seems like the artist just kept adding little things to him.
Yeah.
When you actually see him in the game, it's like there's no room for anything. He's just cluttered with details.
He's like the wall of an Applebee's.
He is. But this is a murder mystery game. There isn't a lot of them out there. I asked that question to you guys in the bullpen. That's what we call one of our writer rooms at Game Informer. What other murder mysteries there are, and we brought up like Heavy Rain. You mentioned that Watch Dogs is kind of a murder mystery in a way, but this one is in kind of the classic pulpy detective noir vein. But at the same time, since your character is dead, this is not a flash forward or a dream sequence or anything like that. You're playing a dead character. You're playing as the spirit of Ronan. And here we go. We're getting close to his final character model. You're playing as the spirit of him in the afterlife. You're kind of in between planes of reality and, heaven or hell. You're in, purgatory, so to speak. So here he is.
Smoking a cig.
He's got a nice fedora, a vest, a button-down shirt, a tie. And there's the Bell Killer, the serial killer who you were just investigating a crime scene, and he was there looking for his next victim, or you were investigating a kind of just a standard break-in report. You didn't call for backup because you're a cocky cop. Mm-hmm. And
he is moving this slowly.
You're dead, so this is how fast you play the entire game.
I'm pushing up as far as I can here.
And the beginning's kind of weird because you're going to see some weird interactions that they don't do for the remainder of the game. But here he is.
There you go. I opened the door. Damn it.
So the reason you can't open the door is
Heavy Rain style.
Like vampires, ghosts can't enter buildings that are consecrated. So you'll need to wait. Any ghost would need to wait for someone to open the door, and then they have to slide in.
Watch it, lady.
And here's a big reveal. Oh my God.
Some tatted up bro.
That's you, Jeff.
Oh. Okay.
So these are the things I'm talking about where you really don't see this at any other point.
So, okay.
Keep reaching, man. Yeah, touch.
Ah.
I'm still alive. I can fix it. If I just get back in my body, then I'll wake up.
Smart plan. Should work, right? So we want to move your foot over to the left and line it up. Good job, Jeff.
That was a regular ghost trick.
And I got to say, this gameplay seems simplistic and just kind of weird. But the entire game's gameplay is really simple to the point of it feels like it's, I'm not kidding, designed for toddlers to a degree. Like in a crime scene, you'll be asked like, where did Ronan will say, where did I find that steak before?
Yeah.
And I'll bring up a series of pictures on screen, but only one of them has a steak on it. So clearly that's the only one you have to pick. And they do that in every investigation. Like you really have to go out of your way to pick the wrong images. And the descriptions they have on the images are very telling as well as to what you need to do.
You remember that time I was trying to get back inside my body a few minutes ago? That was weird. I'm still not over that.
And we're still not done designing the character model. So he needs a few more details, Jeff.
Okay.
Like those bullets.
So those are going to be in the game throughout?
Yep. Yeah, that will always be on you. And now we need to add some weird damage that wasn't there before. And there you go.
Ta-da.
So the production values are very good. The story sequences flow very nicely. The writing is top notch. The mystery of who is the bell killer, the whole point of the game is to track down your killer. Because as you're going to find out here very soon, Ronan, he's in between planes, and the reason he's there is because he has unfinished business here on Earth, and he needs to settle that before he can move on.
Got it. It looks like his wallet chain is existing between planes as well.
Okay, so here we are in the Matrix now.
We're in Assassin's Creed loading screen.
That's more of a true depiction than the Matrix, I guess. Well, you can have weapons fly in here, I guess.
Yeah, so I can do all my moves. I can shield my eyes, and that's it.
Jeff, you know what you do when you're dead? You go to the light.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, go that way. You're just going to hang out with some ghosts.
The sunlight going right through my body holes.
Ronan? I can't believe...
Guess who that is?
I can't believe I found you.
My friend? Julia.
Julia.
It's your wife who passed away years before this event here.
You look good.
Better.
Not really.
God, I've missed you.
She's a lot taller.
I would give anything
She's floating.
to be there with you. For us to be together again. But
What? No. Oh, no, not again. Not you. If you're not here, where are you?
it's the other side of
She's in color here in black and white.
Bridge. What bridge?
where you are is a prison. Or a bridge. It all depends on how you see it. Either way, where you are isn't safe. Do you hear me? We need to get you across the bridge.
Or prison.
Move on.
Yeah, they kind of skirt religion or any kind of known locales as much as they can.
Don't worry about me. Something about your life.
That seems like a weird thing. I mean, if you're dealing with the afterlife, it's
very clear where she's at and
Just
where
saying.
you are, right?
What
Yeah.
about your life feels unresolved?
I don't know.
heaven, right? That's
Figure that out.
Yeah.
okay.
Wait.
Just making
Oh.
sure.
It's the island from Lost. That's where she's at.
Listen, it destroyed me. Please don't leave me again.
We'll see each other again.
Kind of looks like they're underwater with that effect, just that filter over the top.
Yourself.
No, Julia! Don't leave me, Julia!
So now, if she's in heaven, heaven's supposed to be awesome. Does she just routinely pop into purgatory as part of heaven? And it's like, now I got to do this and see
I think
if he's
it's
there.
kind of like prison where you get like a minute to talk on the phone or something. That's the only time you get to see her.
Okay.
Spoiler.
This is bad.
Yeah, I'll stay on the line until help arrives.
See, and we're the help.
Hey, man. Can you hear me?
Nope.
Lady, please.
So nothing's happening here. And you can see in the background there were some gallows. What you're seeing is kind of echoes from Salem. This is Salem, Massachusetts. You're seeing echoes from its past kind of bleeding in. And the echoes also bring consecrated items along with it, which means you might not be able to see if you could pass through that fence there. Actually, the actual wood. Yeah, like, so you can't...
Oh, like walking through it.
Yeah, so you can't get through that. That means it's consecrated. But if there's something that isn't consecrated, you can just walk right through it, and that'll be consecrated as well. And they use that as ways to create barriers. It's kind of interesting because you see the two cities, modern day and in the past, kind of bleeding together. So you can go right through there. They kind of give you hints to stuff you can go through. Sometimes you'll create that effect. Go look at that door. It was shaking for a second. Okay, you can't interact with it yet, so you want to go back.
I can peek inside, though.
And there are a ton of collectibles in this game, and they all kind of tie into the greater story, which is kind of cool.
Also, you're getting like some additional
Story
insight.
bits. Yeah, you'll get notes from Julia where you're finding out how their relationship was going. You'll also, some of it though requires that you find like all 12 pieces of a certain item. And if you hold L2, that's your run button. And we're playing on PS4.
Yes.
We have not had a chance to check out any of the other versions at this point.
Why did you run?
It gets old, giving counsel to the new ones. Don't
Ugh,
take it personal.
that's a kid.
Running through walls.
From
making
old-timey
things
days.
appear.
Yeah.
You look like you've been here a while. You must know how this place works then.
Works? This place isn't hard to understand. Figure out your gifts, and maybe you won't get trapped here.
Jeff Cork, what gifts do you think a ghost has?
What do you mean by gifts, Reiner?
What do you mean?
Powers.
Your
I
strengths
bet
in
he
life are
can
stronger
manipulate
than
small things,
And you can
but not
kinda-
big
powers
things.
here.
You can kind of click through this, I think.
Okay.
They might not
Some
allow.
powers
Yeah, there you go. She's pretty chatty. So is he.
Just hit me, but I'm.
But all the writing is pretty good. Like, I was engaged with most of the stuff. I didn't find that they were just kind of going through random things. You can enter, one of your gifts is you can enter living people's bodies.
Like you've been
Okay.
here a
You
while.
can't control them, but what you can do
I'm
is
just
you
someone
can
like you.
listen to their thoughts,
But hearing what I
which can be
say
kind of
just
funny,
is
but most of
no
the time they're
comfort.
just like really focused on
can
what's in
rob
front of
yourself
them.
of your
Like if it's a
future,
murder, like,
or
oh, I
others
can't
can
believe
do it
someone
for
would do
you.
this. And then you can also kind of compel them to think about a certain thing. And
Okay.
again, that's like in that crime investigation solving mechanic where they give you a bunch of
What do you
options,
mean
but it's
others
very
can
clear
steal
what
my
you need to
future?
pick.
Okay.
And you will see that as soon as you get to some gameplay here.
Okay, so that's what that is. That's good.
And you saw those shields there on that pause screen really quick. That is your rating. So if you
Would you like me to go in there again?
No, if you screw up in an investigation, you'll lose one of those shields. That's the only penalty that you have in the game.
And you get them back.
Best of luck to you.
No, it's just for individual. There's 3 shields assigned to each little investigation piece. So if you screw something up, you're just going to get a lower rating. No big deal.
There's a little ghost note.
Yep, so that's... oh, no, that's just paper.
Dang it.
Yeah, you can't get in there yet. You could possess cats.
Really?
Yeah, so you can play as a cat. That is a definite perk.
was that
Gameplay is
old-
not the best.
What was that GameCube game, Geist?
That's right. Well, I thought in that one you could control like... Okay, there you go, R2. Now go in there.
Ta-da.
Cool, old-timey house.
All right, is this it?
That's it.
All
Sweet.
right. I feel like I'm learning a lot about Salem.
It's like going to the museum, right?
Exactly.
And you should sprint. So there are load times in the game, but most of the time they do a nice job of using that time where they're loading the new data to show you cutscenes like this.
Okay.
So there will be times you're going through the game for a good hour or so without any interruption, which is pretty nice.
Want to see but can't turn away from.
And the tech is
That's when you
top
realize
notch.
you no
Obviously,
longer know which one's
I don't
real.
think it's pushing
Which is
PS4
the
to the
reflection.
limit by any stretch of the imagination. It definitely looks like a cross-gen game, right?
Right. That's
but they-
caution tape without the caution, for instance.
Maybe PS5. Maybe we'll get that.
Exactly. So everything I want to ask you is obviously like a big spoiler. Because
You can ask questions, and I will
Great
do my
idea,
best not to
Dexter.
answer if
Okay,
it's a
for
spoiler.
instance,
Yeah,
the
but-
guy, the bell killer.
Who is he?
No. Yes. No, but does he know about this weird ghost ability? Is that something that he's got like 1 foot in the paranormal as well? And like you were killed for a reason, maybe?
You gotta just keep playing the game. That's something I don't want to answer.
Okay.
There are a lot of little mysteries tied into the bigger mystery.
What
Obviously-
happens in the last cutscene?
Obviously, the big one is figuring out who murdered you.
Right.
And one thing I will reveal is the Bell Killer is a serial killer. There's a cutscene that we skipped at the very beginning of this that details all the grisly crimes that he's committed, or numerous ones of them. And he's on the loose, and the police have no leads on who he is. So for you to be able to track him down, you have nothing to go on. So you know he was here. He's the one who threw you out of the window and came down and shot you with your own gun.
Right.
So at this crime scene, you're going to be able to pick out some pieces that might lead to some kind of clue or lead that could get you moving in the right direction.
So this is what I'm interested in, is how you, as a ghost, are able to see things that, like, there's like 3-4 cops here. Are they just not looking in the right place?
No, they can't see you.
No, I mean, obviously, but at this crime scene, for instance, we're both looking at the same crime scene.
Right.
They're
Nope.
just not perceptive in the way that you are? Is that
Correct.
what's going on?
You have some gifts that will allow you to extract information that a normal living person couldn't get.
Listening to thoughts, like you said earlier, but is it...
Yep, and convincing people to think about something. There's also echoes from the past that you can interact with that could give you some perspective on what might be going on. Like, you will see almost a rewind of how when you figure out a murder, how it was actually done. Like, you actually see it happen.
Does he ever smoke and the smoke comes out of the holes?
No.
Okay.
That'd be a nice touch, though.
Yeah, because he will not stop smoking.
Yeah, it looks like both lungs might have been hit too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now the game is very chatty, by the way, and I'm gonna say it's more in the line of your Telltale Games type of experience where you're really hooked into the narrative, but the gameplay doesn't really deliver. Like I said, it can be really simplistic, and the interaction is a little shoddy at times. So here he is investigating the crime scene, and it's just pointing out the obvious, like,
these are marked
that's
with
my
numbers.
gun. But these are the pieces that you need. You need 8 pieces.
Yeah. It is good because you're not going to get yelled at for walking all over the blood and stuff.
Correct. But you might leave some slime, right?
That's true.
So in these pieces, it's just like, I don't need to know that. But if you go and possess someone, like those 2 cops there, now hit eavesdrop.
What a night, huh, Robinson?
Yeah. Here's a point where you can get a little bit more story context. This doesn't happen often.
Why do I have to possess them if I'm a ghost? Couldn't I just walk closer?
Shh.
Asking for it. A witness
But you wouldn't have this really intimate conversation window here.
That's true, and I would be clipping through his face. And doing
Right. Just kind of bobbing on his hat.
Next thing you know, the bell killer tried to see if he could make him sprout angel wings. And then bam.
But you could kind of skip these things here.
All right, well.
And go over to the woman who's being interrogated, I think to your left right now. Right there.
Oh, her.
So she's in distress, and clearly there's something going on here.
Should I influence?
Yeah.
What would make her?
So you're missing one piece of the crime scene.
Okay, so I can't do it.
And he will give it to you, so go possess him and take a look at Peak. So again, you don't have to get into a guy's body to do this, but what one of these pieces do you think would be the most important to your investigation? Obviously, I think it's... Yeah. Click it. Go ahead. Nope, so you got that one wrong.
So you're faking me out here.
So go ahead and do it again.
I'm losing shields here.
Okay, so now you have all the information. Now go
All
talk
right.
to the lady and figure out which piece.
Come on, you. There we go. What do you think?
I would maybe go with the cops.
This guy?
No, those guys.
The bell killer?
Hey!
Phew!
Yeah, I saw it. That man in the hood. Outside. Looking up at the top apartment on the 4th floor, I think.
So, what do you conclude here? That you need to go upstairs, basically.
Yep.
That's what you get from this murder scene. Which, I mean,
Maybe I should have gone up to where I was pushed from to begin with, you'd think.
that would be a pretty good idea. And here's kind of a funny thing. Obviously, you can't get in the building until someone opens the door.
Let's have some clues.
Yeah,
That's my way in. That's close.
they point out the obvious way too much in this game. But even with that happening, it still manages to be pretty damn cool. Just in regards to the story that's told and how it's told. There's a lot of bad gameplay to tolerate, and there's some cool ideas, like I said, like controlling the cat and interacting. You can interact with electronics, small electronics, like a walkie-talkie or a TV to kind of distract guards. And you're going to run into, not in our playthrough here, but you're going to run into a girl named Joy, who's a really, really great character. She's written really well, and she has great interaction with Ronan. But she is a medium, and she can give you... She could talk to the dead and the living.
Oh, nice.
So she's like in between. But, okay, there's that's a demon. So they have to have some kind of combat, I guess. It's rarely done in the game. You're not going to do it in our playthrough. But basically all you have to do is it adds stealth to the game, and all you have to do is go behind the demon, who has really horrible vision,
right,
and doesn't move very fast, and then just execute it by just kind of raising up your hands and going, blah, and it dies. So why don't you just run around here? We'll kind of end this here. But this is a pretty good look at what to expect is those investigations that are really simplistic. They don't get any more complex than that. What you saw is pretty much how every investigation unfolds. You just have to find different items and the pieces in the crime before you can solve it. There is no real penalty outside of losing the shield. But those walls are not consecrated, so you could just go ripping through them.
And the floor is never... is consecrated, so you don't ever fall through, right?
Correct. I guess the land is consecrated too. Yeah, there's certain rules that you just don't know about ghosts. That'd be pretty funny if they all just plummeted to the core of the earth.
Yep.
And then back out through into space. But there's a lot of little interesting things going on, like, who is she? Like I brought up Joy, she has interesting stories to tell. You get to know Ronan's backstory a little more. You really get to know all the players. I think they're all written pretty well. And it ends up being a good mystery from start to finish. Like, I thought it was pretty engaging. It's too bad the gameplay sucks. Unlike those Telltale Games adventures like The Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us, they use gameplay sparingly. In this game, they use it all the time, and it kind of becomes a distraction. And I hate to say it, but you do just want to end up watching it more than interacting with it.
Okay.
But unfortunately, there's a lot of interaction, and it's repetitive, and in those investigations, and not very well done. Like, again, it's just the solutions are way too obvious in most cases. And here's one last thing. Here's a ghost. There are people... kind of like
super creep in the closet.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what you're going to ask him. Is there are people that are lost like you are, in between planes, and you have to help them out. It kind of has shades of that Peter Jackson film, The Frighteners, if you've ever seen that. Yeah. Where you're kind of helping out the ghosts. They're kind of palling around. They want to interact with you. Joy has it really bad because they all want to talk to her because there aren't a lot of mediums in the game. So she's always kind of trying to pretend she's not a medium, so she doesn't want to interact with them. But it's kind of cool. I ended up giving the game a 6.5 out of 10. I liked it a lot. There's parts of it I really liked, but also at the same time that I didn't like, and it really weighs it down and kind of pulls it back from being what it truly should be, which is a great murder mystery story, which it has in it.
Yeah.
But if you like stories and games and you want to be treated to one that's quite different, I say give it a look. But just know you have to tolerate a lot of pretty bad gameplay.
That's a drag.
Well, thank you, Jeff Cork.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, dear.
And that's shades of The Frighteners right there, too.
Yeah.
Carpet monsters, the worst.
I want to see his face first.
They're terrifying, and the way they move is super cool. And with that, we're out. See you next time, everyone.